You know, in my lifetime, I have not seen America fall so far, so fast. Every sector in the American economy is under attack, as is the rule of law and our personal liberties. America is being ruled by a bunch of inhuman, miserable people. And the leader of those miserable people, Joe Biden, owns the chaos and the barbarism he's unleashed upon our people. If only we had a way to quantify the sorry state of affairs our nation has descended into. Enter Newsmax, the Biden Misery Index, something you'll be seeing a lot of in the future. That's our focus in tonight's preamble. Newsmax, observing America's rapid decline under socialist rule, has decided to summarize the amount of pain our people must endure when left-wing extremists are in charge. Before we get to the criteria of the BMI, a bit of a history lesson. The original Misery Index from the 1970s was developed to illustrate the economic pain being felt by Americans that were going through an international oil price crisis and a period of high unemployment. Now, predictably, that too was under a Democrat Socialist Party. Jimmy Carter was the president then, who before Obama and Biden was judged to be the worst president in American history. Newsmax came up with the Biden Misery Index to capture the multiple empirical and sociological factors affecting American society today. Traditional measures like unemployment fail to capture what's really happening in the labor market. For example, the dilemma we face with employers saying they can't fill the jobs. At the beginning of 2020, under President Trump, before the pandemic, unemployment had plunged to a 50-year low and inflation was below 2%. The traditional misery index was also pretty low. But once Biden and his socialists rose to new heights, our country began to sink to historic new lows, which is why the Biden Misery Index was created. The first criteria, the BMI, in the BMI measures food and transportation costs. Now, they are two vitally important sectors where many items are surpassing inflationary pressure, and hardships in those areas are compounded by the ongoing supply chain issues facing our country. The next sector considered under the BMI, the Biden Misery Index, is the labor sector and the current crisis that it's experiencing. It's an amalgam of issues, notably the squeeze on the middle class during an inflationary cycle, increasing strikes and other actions taken by disgruntled workers, especially because of the wages not keeping pace with inflation, and resentment over the China virus mandates. Democrat-inspired crime has been on a meteoric rise under Soros-funded DAs and crooked Democrat socialist politicians. They have been running blue states into the ground for some time now. Now that the socialists run the entirety of government, criminals are living large in Biden's America. Conversely, Americans are living in fear, just the way leftists want you to live. Murder rates are skyrocketing. Businesses are shuttering under socialist Democrat rules that refuse to prosecute theft under a certain dollar figure. The crooks in the Democrat Party are the best friends of the crooks on the streets. And the crime portion of the BMI is dangerously high and antithetical to a nation of laws. So that is the Biden Misery Index. What's happening now has societal factors contributing to a public malaise, as reflected in Biden's plunging job approval numbers. The only thing in which Biden has been really an overachiever is how fast he's been able to bring misery to the United States of America. Now, it's not just crime. The American public is sharply divided over China virus mandates, reflected in everything from service sector jobs to the supply chain crisis to cops to the U.S. military. Americans are worried about heating their homes this winter, as heating oil and natural gas prices, they are on the upswing. And have you seen the prices at the pump lately? Each of the BMI indicators will be updated regularly as new data comes in to accurately reflect the state of the American society we live in today. We here in the Chris Salcedo Show expect the index to continue to reflect an America in decline for as long as socialists rule Washington or your particular state. Socialists are incapable of learning what it means to be an American because they no longer wish to be Americans under our Constitution. The current administration is incapable of reversing the Biden Misery Index because your happiness, your prosperity, your freedom, your security has never been, nor will it ever be, their goal.